Hello friends, welcome to Antenna Theory lecture series. Today we will discuss about the design parameters of pyramidal horn and conical horn. Those are the parameters which are required to calculate to design any pyramidal horn or conical horn. So on these parameters, the directivity, gain and the efficiency of antenna is dependent. So in this lecture, we will discuss about some important formulas regarding the design of pyramidal horn and the conical horn. Also from the geometry of pyramidal horn on the xz plane or yz plane, and also the geometry of conical horn, we can calculate so many parameters through this diameter of aperture or the length of the horn. So on that dimensions, the directivity and the gain of antenna can be decided. I have made two videos regarding the construction and working principle of pyramidal horn and the conical horn. You can refer those videos for detailed theory about the pyramidal horn and conical horn. Now we will move forward for the design parameters of the pyramidal horn and the conical horn. Those are very important. So let's go for the design parameters of first, that is distance of pyramidal horn. There are so many equations to design the pyramidal horn, that is it's to improve its bandwidth, also to improve its gain. The basic aim behind the design equations of the horn, that the pyramidal horn should have better directivity and wide bandwidth. Also it has more gain as compared to other antennas. So the first formula is the field distribution at the aperture is approximated with this equation. So there are various parameters. The directivity of pyramidal horn can be found by introducing the phase efficiency factors, okay, of the both planes and the taper efficiency factor of H plane. We can see from the epsilon equations, that is d suffix p is equal to 4 pi upon lambda square, where is a multiplication of phase efficiency factors of both planes and the taper efficiency factor of H plane. We can see these equations of epsilon t. This is tapering efficiency factor 8 upon pi square. The another one is phase efficiency factors, the formula of rho and the q. Please remember those formulas. Those are very important regarding with the design consideration of pyramidal horn. We can see the factor E suffix t explicitly shows the aperture efficiency associated with the aperture cosine taper. The factor E suffix ph is the aperture efficiency associated with the aperture phase distribution. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the epsilon t and epsilon ph, that is Et is explicitly shows the aperture efficiency associated with the aperture cosine taper. Okay, so this is tapering efficiency, that is Et, epsilon t, and the next factor is the epsilon ph is the aperture efficiency associated with the phase distribution. There are some other equations also, that is optimal directivity of E plane horn is achieved at the q is equal to 1, that is epsilon ph, that is aperture efficiency of phase distribution, is equal to 0.8, and the optical directivity of H plane horn is achieved at the small t is equal to 3 by 8, which is nothing but the epsilon ph is equal to 0.79. So please remember the values of these two factors of the aperture efficiency with E plane and the aperture efficiency with H plane. Thus the optimal horn has the phase aperture efficiency. Okay, so this is total phase aperture efficiency is a multiplication of aperture efficiency of E plane and the H plane, which is given by 0.632. So these are the standard values of the optimal horn has a phase aperture efficiency. So please remember these three values, that is the first value is of aperture efficiency of E plane horn, that is 0.8. Second value is aperture efficiency of H-plane horn, that is 0.79, and combination of these two we got phase aperture efficiency, that is epsilon ph is equal to 0.632. So the total aperture efficiency includes the taper factor. So now again it is multiplied by epsilon t, which is nothing but the tapering factor. So the total aperture efficiency is given by, it is product of epsilon t, that is tapering factor, epsilon ph, which is regarding with the H plane horn, and it's multiplied by epsilon ph of E plane horn, which is nothing but the aperture efficiency, which is given by 0.51. So this is total aperture efficiency, we can be calculated using these three values. So please remember these standard values to calculate aperture efficiency, and the above formulas, those are very important. So we will move forward for the next thing, that is design parameters of pyramidal horn. So the initial design parameters will be the frequency 8 GHz, E plane aperture is equal to 1 centimeter, H plane aperture is equal to 1 centimeter, E plane axial length is equal to 3 centimeter, and H plane axial length is equal to 3 centimeter. So these are the basic design parameters to design any pyramidal horn. You should remember this thing. There are some other parameters also will be changed as if you want to increase the directivity or the gain, the design parameters will be changed regarding with E plane aperture, H plane aperture, and also with axial length of E plane and H plane. So in this example we can see the frequency at 8 GHz, that is pyramidal horn is operating at the frequency 8 GHz. E plane aperture is 1 centimeter, H plane aperture is 1 centimeter, E plane axial length is equal to 3 centimeter, and H plane axial length is equal to 3 centimeter. So from this table you can see the effect of variation in the horn aperture. Aperture is a front portion of the horn, okay, which is nothing but the cross section. When the horn aperture is increasing, likewise we can see in the column first the aperture is given in centimeter. So we are increasing the horn aperture, that is 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, and 5 centimeter. Also there is increase in directivity, okay. Likewise that is for 1 centimeter the directivity of horn antenna is 5.8. Like last one is for 5 centimeter the directivity is increased, that is 10.4. So likewise we can say when the horn aperture is increases, the gain is also increases and the directivity will be also increases. So this is graph of gain, that is we are increasing the aperture in centimeter, also the gain is increasing. It increases from 6 decibels to up to more than 10 decibels for 1 to 5 centimeters increase in aperture. So this is another table of effect of horn length. So if the horn length is increases, then the gain is decreases. We can see E and H plane horn length are given in centimeters, and the second column is of gain in decibels. So likewise we can see for 1 centimeter of horn length the gain is 5.8, but as we increase the length there is decrease in gain, okay. So we can say for the 5 centimeter the gain will be 1, and for the 1 centimeter the gain will be 5.8. We can see it from this graph. So this graph shows the gain versus the length of the aperture. So we can see as the length is increases, the gain of the horn will decrease, okay. From this table we can plot this chart against gain and the for the geometry of conical horn. We can see from this figure there is angle psi suffix c, that is flaring angle. We can see from the geometry capital L is the axial length, okay, or flaring length, we can say the flaring length. Small dm is equal to 2a, where a is the radius of this cross section or the aperture, and dm is the diameter of the opening of cross section, or we can say the aperture. So from this geometry of conical horn, we can derive some equations and the standard values for the aperture efficiency epsilon ap, also the directivity of uniform circular aperture, and the loss due to aperture efficiency. So we will see it one by one. So the basic formula of the directivity of conical horn antenna is given by capital D suffix D, which is measured in decibels, is equal to 10 log 10 epsilon ap of 4 pi lambda square pi a square, which is equal to 10 log 10 of c upon lambda square minus ls. So where the first formula is directivity of uniform circular aperture, we can see from this figure, and second one is loss due to aperture efficiency. So the aperture efficiency epsilon ap is usually 51% of conical horn antenna, where L is the axial length and psi c is the flaring angle. So please remember these three formulas. That is, first one is the directivity of conical horn, the second one is directivity of uniform circular aperture, and the third one is the loss due to aperture efficiency. So the directivity of conical horn is totally depend upon the directivity of uniform circular aperture and the loss due to aperture efficiency. So we will move forward. For the design of conical horn, the same geometry figure is used here. So we can calculate the some standard designs for the conical horn, which is used to improve the directivity of conical horn. As we have seen earlier in the last formula, that is, directivity of conical horn is totally depend upon the directivity of aperture, okay, or we can say axial length and diameter of the aperture. So these are basic dimensions which will contribute in the increase in the directivity of conical horn antenna. So from this figure we can derive the loss figure in decibels. The formula for the loss figure is given below this diagram, that is ls is equal to zero point 0.8 minus 1.71 s plus 26.25 s square minus 17.79 s cube, where small s is equal to dm square divided by 8l lambda, where dm is the diameter of aperture. We can see from this figure, also it is shown in the last figure also, that is in the geometry of conical horn. Dm is equal to 2a, that is a is the radius of the aperture, or we can say cross section. So s is maximum phase deviation, okay, which has formula dm square upon 8l lambda. So for the optimum directivity, the equation will be dm is equal to under root of 3ly, 3l lambda. So please remember this equation, which is used to improve the directivity of conical horn using this axial length and the wavelength, and also the equation of loss figure and the equation of maximum phase deviation. These are very important equations to design any conical horn antenna and also to improve its directivity. And the above equations are of the directivity of conical horn, loss aperture efficiency, and the directivity of uniform circular aperture. So we will move forward. So we can see there is one graph which shows the relation between directivity d suffix c and with the diameter of horn aperture, that is dm, in the wavelength. So we can see from this graph, as the diameter of the horn aperture increases, okay, as the diameter of horn aperture is increases, so on the x-axis we can see the diameter of horn aperture denoted by small dm, which we have seen in the geometry and the design specification of conical horn antenna. And on the y-axis there is a directivity. So we can see the relation between diameter of horn aperture and the directivity, that is we are increasing diameter of the horn aperture, okay, then the directivity will also increases. The middle line shows capital L, which is the flaring length or axial length. So for the starting point there is a 0.5 lambda of the flaring length, but as we increasing the diameter of horn aperture, the directivity is increasing also, and there is increase in the axial length, that is L is equal to 75 lambda. So the directivity is totally depend upon the diameter of the horn aperture, that is dm, and the axial length capital L. Okay, so these are the values of axial length against the directivity, that is 0.5 lambda, 1 lambda, 2 lambda, 4 lambda, up to 75 lambda. Also there is increase in the directivity from 8 decibels to up to 30 decibels. So this gives the relation between directivity and the diameter of horn aperture with increasing the length of capital L, which is nothing but the flaring length. So the next graph is of the directivity versus normalized antenna length. Okay, so there are total two plots, that is blue one is the new technology horn length, and the next another one is the red in color, that is conical corrugated horn length. So we can see the directivity, the relation between directivity and normalized antenna length. So here is also, as the antenna length is increases from 0 to 40, directivity is also increasing, that is at initial point for up to 2 to 3 length of normalized antenna length in wavelength, the directivity is up is almost 0, then again it increases up to 32 for the normalized antenna length has value 30. So this gives a relation between directivity and antenna length, that is as the antenna length is increases, the directivity of the conical horn antenna is increases. So please remember these are the basic plots or the graphs for the directivity and the diameter of horn aperture, and this is for antenna length and the directivity. So next graph is of, again it shows relation between capital L, which is the axial length. We can see it from this figure. One small geometrical figure is drawn in this plot, that is L lambda is the axial length or flaring length, and d lambda is the diameter of aperture or the diameter of cross section. We have seen these formulas earlier in this video. So in this graph we can see the relation between gain and the axial length, also gain with the diameter of aperture. So here also, as we increasing the length of this conical horn antenna, sorry, as we increasing the length of this conical horn antenna, the gain is also increasing. Okay, we can see from this graph, the top line shows the relation between gain and the axial length L, which shows that as we are increasing the axial length of this conical horn antenna, the gain is also increasing. The second line shows the relation between gain and the diameter of the aperture. We can see this, as the diameter of aperture increases, the gain is also increasing. In this case, the gain is mostly depend upon the diameter of the aperture as compared to axial length of the conical horn. We can see this, as we increases the diameter of the aperture, that is from about 2 to 6. So for this change, for this range, there is sudden increase in the gain, that is up to 24 decibels. So we can say that the gain of the conical horn antenna is mostly depend upon the diameter of the aperture as compared to the length of the axial as compared to axial length of the antenna. So these are the basic three plots which shows the relation between length of the angle, length of the conical horn, diameter of the aperture with respect to gain and the directivity of the conical horn antenna. So please remember, these are the three plots which are very important. Those are very important for designing of the conical horn antenna also. So we will move forward for the last part of this video, that is application of horn antenna, application of conical horn antenna. So these are the applications of conical horn antenna. The first one is they are used as a feed antennas called feed horns for larger antenna structures such as parabolic antennas. So that means it can be used to feed the large antennas, large antenna structures such as parabolic antennas. It has advantages of more directivity, moderate directivity, low standing wave ratio. Okay, this is due to flaring is provided at the opening of waveguide. Broad bandwidth, we have seen that is it is up to 10:1 or 20:1 ratio, and simple in construction and adjustment. They are used for astronomical studies also, used in the microwave applications, used in the microwave radiometers, in radar guns, and standard calibration antennas to measure the gain of the antenna. So this is very wide applications of conical horn antenna in the case of microwave applications, in radars also in the calibration of gain of other antennas, and which is also used to feed the larger antenna structure such as parabolic antennas. So this is very important part of the conical horn antenna, that is its relations, which is shown by this graph. These three graphs which shows the directivity, gain, aperture length relations. This is the basic design of conical horn, which gives the equations of how to obtain optimal directivity with the help of diameter of aperture and with the help of loss figure. Here are three formulas, that is loss figure LS, small s is maximum phase deviation, and dm is the diameter of aperture or the cross section, and this is the geometry of the conical horn, which gives also three equations, that is directivity of conical horn, loss due to aperture efficiency, and the directivity of uniform circular aperture. So please remember, these are the design considerations of the conical horn antenna, those graphs and the applications. Also we have seen the structure and the working of the conical horn antenna and the objective of providing the flaring at the opening of waveguide. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the corrugated conical horn. So that's it for conical horn antenna for today. Thank you.